What is going on, guys? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we are speaking about new experiences and how new experiences can change your life. Don't forget to stick around to the end to hear the most important part about actually going out of your comfort zone and identifying your safe box.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love.
So this is pulled straight from the 4 plan. So the 4-pillar plan is something I've broken down in different stages because it's quite in depth. Now this is, remember, only 4 of the full 12 pillars that we actually teach, because you know we can't give all of our secrets away. But these are the most important pillars that if you actually do them and you actually do them properly, they will change your life within the next week. It's just as simple as that. But if you want bigger change, then it comes through bigger pillars, which is pillars that I will go into depth more into the future whenever we have experiences. So the full 12 pillars I will go into depth as we progress and as we go deeper and deeper into the channel. They are having different videos made because it's good for me to explain a lot of these pillars, but a lot of these pillars have been designed and created by Mandy the therapist, so it's better for her to really go into these pillars herself so that we can discuss everything in much more open context. And she has a lot more information than I do, and she's got a lot more knowledge than I do about certain subjects. So to play to our experiences. So experiences from outside of our comfort zone. So in the previous video, no, in the next video, I will be talking about the 4-pillar plan to change your life. So this video directly links to that video, and a video I made a few weeks back called Healthy Living. That is again ties directly into the 4-pillar plan. So the experiences from outside of our comfort zone make us. Why do experiences from outside of our comfort zone make us? So if you imagine you had beer goggles on. Now, I don't know if you've ever worn beer goggles. They're quite funny. But if you put beer goggles on, right, even the saying, then you're very sort of not narrow-minded. Narrow-minded is not the right way of doing it, but your blinkers on. You can only see what is in front of you. You can only see what you allow to come into your life, rather than when you have new experiences, then you are taking those blinkers off, because it's a whole new experience. It's a whole new era of your life. It's a whole different level of anxiety. It's a whole different, oh, can't I do this? It's everything about that experience is different, and so you're not in your safe zone. I call it the box of safety. And if you're not in your box of safety, then you are outside of your comfort zone. Whether it's a little bit out of your comfort zone or a lot out of your comfort zone, you're out of it. And that inherently is going to help you at decision making. It's going to help you with anxiety. It's going to help you with depression. It's going to help you with all of these things, because it basically puts you in a, depending on how far outside of your comfort zone you are, it puts you in a fight or flight mode. So it puts you in an emergency decision making factor. So for example, if somebody has a fear of heights and then they decide to go on a high ropes course for the first time, right, they're going to be in a heightened level of fight or flight. Or actually, as Mandy puts it, is you're going to be in a heightened level of fight, flight, freeze, or flop. Now, when you're put in these uncomfortable experiences comfortably, you are choosing to do the thing that you are uncomfortable doing. For example, high ropes or ice skating. You know, something that you might not do all the time, that you're a little bit anxious about or you're a little bit nervous about doing, but you know that you want to do it, right? For example, Hannah wanted to go ice skating, really excited about going ice skating, got ice skating, and she forgot how icy it was, and she absolutely shit herself the entire time. About 10 minutes toward the end, finally got the hang of it, and we were moving, and it was really good fun. And it was that sort of, I really want to do it, I'm really excited to do it. Oh my God, anxiety through the roof, nervous through the roof. I almost can't do this. That's the kind of experience I'm talking about. But by doing the thing that you're nervous about doing, you are well out of your comfort zone, and you're doing something that is going to inherently make everything else in your life look easier because you've done the harder thing. So it correlates directly to that part of your life. So if you're constantly inside your safe box and you're only seeing the things that you're able to see, then you're not able to see the new experiences coming into your life that would be able to elevate your life to the next stage. So for example, you want that new promotion at work, or you want that new job opportunity, or you want whatever it is, you want a new car, or you want a new house, but you're blinkers on, you're inside your safe box, and you're like, I can't do it, I can't get it. Whereas if you push yourself out of that safe box and you think, right, I'm going to go speak to my boss about getting a promotion, or I'm going to go speak to him about getting a pay rise, or I'm going to go down to the car dealership and have a look at buying new cars, or whatever it is. When you, again, doesn't matter how far outside of your comfort zone, if it's a little bit or if it's a lot, if you push yourself out of that comfort zone and those blinkers come off, then you're able to see all of these new experiences coming down the line at you. And that's amazing, because then you're able to think, okay, Brant, awesome, I can go and do that. Or, I'm nervous, I don't want to speak to my boss. He said that he'd mention promotions in due time, but actually I'm going to put the initiative in. I'm going to go speak to him and be like, right, I want a promotion, I want a pay rise, what can I do to get myself there? Maybe not said quite like that, but in those sort of ideas, pushing yourself and doing those things that push yourself outside of your comfort zone is going to allow you to see new opportunities set forth by yourself. So how does it do this? How does going out of our comfort zone actually enable us to see new opportunities that weren't there before? So like I said, by stepping out of your box of safety, you are initiating your emergency procedures, whether it's fight, flight, freeze, or flop. Now, these emergency procedures give you a rush of adrenaline, okay? And you are in a heightened state. All of your senses are heightened. Everything is in a better state to be able to exert yourself in that moment of emergency. Because essentially, regardless of if you're actually in the savannah being chased by a lion, or if you're about to go have a really uncomfortable conversation with your boss that you're really nervous about taking, your emergency procedures, your fight or flight hormones are all elevated. They're ready to go, so that you are ready to prepare yourself for the upcoming whatever it is. So what you're actually doing is changing your brain biochemistry. Now, by changing your biochemistry, you actually change what you perceive as a threat. So by constantly getting out of your safe box and pushing yourself to the next level, and by pushing yourself and doing more and more things that scare you and make you nervous and make you anxious, what you previously saw as a threat, or as what started your anxiety or started being nervous, you therefore won't see as a threat anymore. Now, this won't happen for every single experience, but for example, say that you share parking outside of your house with a bunch of people, for example. I know in America that's not really a common thing, but in England that is very, very common. The fact that you share a whole street of parking for just a few houses, right? Say you share parking and you have a designated parking spot, but somebody else doesn't, and they keep parking in your spot, right? And you're way too nervous to speak to them about moving out of your spot, and you've got to park ages down the road, for example, right? You take the initiative of asking your boss for a raise, or asking your boss for, something a little bit less uncomfortable, because you have relations with your boss, you understand them, you've been working hard, you deserve that raise. You go and speak to your boss about getting a promotion, right? When you come, and then that's really scary and that's really nervous, but it went really well. Then you come home and you think, Well, I spoke to my boss about having a promotion. That scared the absolute life out of me. Why don't I speak to this person about moving their car parking spot? And that would rewire your brain biochemistry and actually enable you to what you perceived as a threat, you might not perceive as much of a threat anymore because you've already done something that scares the absolute crap out of you. So, what are the best ways to do this for each individual person? And exactly how I've just described it. You do something that scares you a little bit, but it's still within your box of safety, and then what you perceive as too much. Right, that's too much. That's too far out of your box of safety. Right. So for me, for example, I've been skydiving, love skydiving, did it, scared the absolute crap out of me. That was outside of my box of safety, but not too far out of my box of safety. That was not too far out of my second box that I would just say no. Too far for me out of my second box is bungee jumping, right? Which might seem a bit counterintuitive, but I feel like if I'm going to jump out of something, then I want to jump out of it, whereas I don't want to be brought back up again. But this is going to be individually based. This is going to be different for each individual person, and so it's very hard for me to sort of speculate. I can give you ideas like I just did in terms of having the boss and speaking to the car. But so for me, going out of my safe zone and doing everything right, for example, I've done everything I teach my clients, everything I suggest that you guys do, I have done myself. So I'm not just completely talking out of my arse when I say these things like, you need to leave your friends behind. I've said that a lot. That's one of the main things I say about actually like being able to grow and change and develop and grow as a person. Change your environment, leave your friends, do drastic things that are really going to help you. I did that. I moved from England to Australia. I've got a lot of videos of me in Australia being made, right? Now that experience out of my comfort zone, I had no friends, I had no family, I had no backup, I had no support. When I went over there, I was completely by myself. And so that for me was the drastic change that changed my entire life, changed everything about my life. And so there you go, there's my experience outside of my comfort zone. And that was well out of both my boxes. I was not comfortable out there by myself. I just wasn't. But I did it. It scared the crap out of me. My anxiety was through the roof, but I did it. And now I'm back. Half the things that I was scared about before I left and don't even faze me anymore. They don't even faze me. Then it's not even on my radar of needing to worry about it, because I've been through much harder experiences, and that's the way that I look at things, and that's the way that I teach, and that's the way that it's worked for everybody that I've coached. It works. Put yourself outside of that comfort zone. I promise you'll grow. So when should somebody do this? Now, again, this is going to be individually based. I cannot sit here and tell you to go and do these things now, because it might not be practical for you now. You need to do these things when you are ready to do these things. And I don't know when that's going to be. I cannot sit here and tell you that you are ready today or tomorrow or next week. And it's the same with my clients. I cannot possibly tell you when you're ready. I guess, and I can have estimates of why I think you're ready and when I think you'll be ready to go and do these things. But realistically, I cannot say that it's going to be good for you to go now, it's going to be good for you to go next month, it's going to be good for you to go in a year's time. Whenever you've done the process, you've done the healing, you've done the plans, you've done the pillars, and you've executed them, and you have knowledge about why you are where you are and why you're doing the things that you're doing, and all of these different questions that I had questions about, that all my clients have questions about. Once you have enough answers, then you can make enough good decisions to be able to do whatever you want for the rest of your life. And you have the toolbox in place to be able to recover and be able to deal with these triggers that are going to continually come for the rest of your life. It's never going to be now we're in one country or in another country. Those triggers are attached to you. They are going to follow you for the rest of your life. So once you're able to deal with them, once you have the knowledge, you have the understanding, you understand what physical training, you understand about healthy living, then you're able to make these important life decisions about where you're going to go and what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. But, as much as I say, I can't tell you when it's going to happen, I do recommend you do it as soon as physically possible. As soon as possible, because the sooner you start putting yourself in uncomfortable positions and uncomfortable situations, the sooner you start growing. And you can start small. Remember, your box of safety. Start small. Start doing the little things. Talking to people that you've not spoken to before, or messaging people that you've not spoken to, or I don't know, going down the shops if you don't like going down the shops, or going for a walk if you don't like exercise, or do start with little things. that enable you to put yourself in a different position than what you've always done. Because remember, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So if you want something different for your life now, you must make the choice now to do something different with your life. So that's my recommendation. Do it as soon as possible, but as soon as you are able to do it after you've completed the other steps. So this is the most important part of the video, without a shadow of a doubt, because I have mentioned through the whole video your box of safety. Yeah, everybody's got their own individual box of safety. You need to figure out what your box of safety is. And so that is doing everything that you love to do, and all of the experiences and everything that you do with your blinkers on is what you need to do, so that you can understand where your box of safety starts and where it ends, so that you can then identify what experiences you are able to do that make you uncomfortable that you will do. For example, right, going to a pottery class, or going go-karting, or high ropes, indoor rock climbing. You know, there's enough experiences that can make you anxious and nervous and uncomfortable, but you are still able to do, right? And then you've got the experiences that make you way too uncomfortable, like skydiving or bungee jumping or something like that, you know. And it's different for everybody. It could just be simply leaving your house and going shopping. That could be nervous enough for you. Like, I know a lot of people who are too nervous to do that. So that is what I recommend you doing. You need, the most important thing about doing new experiences is finding out what you're comfortable and what you're not comfortable doing, who you're doing that with, and why. So that, again, you're building up knowledge about yourself. Once you have more and more and more knowledge about yourself, again, this is all going to come back to that. Once you have more knowledge about yourself, then you are in a better position to understand why you do and don't like doing the things that you do and don't like doing, right? I don't like roller coasters. I haven't liked roller coasters since I was a little kid. It's just one of those things. I'm probably never going to like roller coasters, right? I've done it. I've been there. Cool. Fine. It's just like I don't like bungee jumping. I've not done bungee jumping. So I'm a little bit hypocritical in those words of saying you should always try something new. You don't know if you don't like it until you try it. But I know damn well I won't like that. So it's, you know, and that's, again, comfort, box of safety, experiences I'm happy doing that scare me, that I won't say no to, and then big fat no, I'm not doing that. But it's years and years and years of doing these different experiences that scare you to find out what you are and what you are not comfortable to do. So until you start, you won't know for sure. So that's the way that realistically I think it works. But that is it. Please comment below your thoughts and tell me what you think actually is going to be the difference for you, and what is actually going to make you step out of your comfort zone, and how this ties into your plan of how this ties into your plan of change, and how this ties in with your pillars and how you're doing things in your life. But that's it, guys. I hope you had a fantastic day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next one.